It is such a pleasure and an honor to be here today on Bill Kettler's 100th birthday. Yes. In reading his bio, I was truly impressed with all Bill has accomplished. So just to highlight some of them, as you know, Bill was born on March 10, 1922, on a lima bean farm in what would become Huntington Beach. He has spent most of his 100 years here in his hometown, Surf City. He was the valedictorian at his class at Springdale Elementary, one of two in his class. Pretty cool, Bill. He graduated from Huntington Beach High School in 1939 and attended UCLA 1939 to 1942. Bill and his high school sweetheart, and then the love of his life, Marge, were married on September 23rd, 1943. They raised three sons, three children, oh, just two? Okay. All right. All right, you can read. 2 boys and a girl? Yeah, I knew that was what it was. Kurt and Howard? Okay, and Karen. All right, there we go. Later, they enjoyed grandchildren. So, Bill is an avid hunter and fly fisherman and World War II veteran, reaching the ranks of lieutenant colonel. Should we salute you now? Yes, okay. He retired after serving during the war and in the reserves. Bill is a Mason, a Rotarian, and has been an active member of the Rotary Club of Huntington Beach since 1949. Yeah. And he led the group as president between 1953 and 1954. Bill spent 17 years locally as his father-in-law's mortuary, at one time known as Smith Mortuary, now known as Good Shepherd, as a mortician, who he likes to refer to as a horizontal engineer. In addition to serving 12 years as a trustee of Huntington Beach Elementary School District and 3-time president, Bill was a trustee of the Coast Community College District for 17 years and twice president. In 1973, William E. Cutler Elementary School was named in his honor and was opened until June of 2005. In 2017, renovations of the school began, and it had been converted into the headquarters of Huntington Beach City School District. In 2014, Bill was honored as Huntington Beach Citizen of the Year. Recently, Bill wrote an autobiography titled Bill Kettler's 98 Years in Huntington Beach and the World. Bill has been a devoted community servant as a member of the Rotary Club of Huntington Beach since 1949, serving as president, foundation chair, and board member. Past member of the Huntington Beach Chamber and the Huntington Beach Planning Commission, served the American Legion, and held the position with Family Service Association. So, it is my great pleasure, because I always love celebrating birthdays, but in all seriousness, I am proud and honored to congratulate you, Bill, on your 100th birthday, and may I present this on behalf of the City Council, myself, and all of us who love you in Huntington Beach.
I was told that I was going to be tarred and feathered and rode out of Huntington Beach on a rail, but they found out that I was not welcome to carring, and so that went out. And then the rail they found was too heavy, and they couldn't carry it, so that was all left. But now, for all kidding aside, I am so wonderful and so lucky to be a member of Huntington Beach and Huntington Beach Rotary. It's just, I don't know, it's so overwhelming. As you do things, you don't seem to think much of them, but when you add them all up together, it's kind of amazing. I really think this should be all the doctors that have helped me. They should be getting something out of this. But it's been so wonderful. I'm so lucky, and I'm so glad at Huntington Beach. We are so lucky to be here. It's just unbelievable. Some of the things that have happened. My wife was a perfect wife, I think anyway, and she passed away 10 years ago. So it's quite a void in my life, but you know, I shouldn't get all the plaudits. People like her. My father died. He was one of 9 children, 5 boys and 4 girls, and he was only 47. I was still a teenager, and survived. And it was just unbelievable because he had his oldest sister lived to be 110. Wow. I also saw on the internet that there was a man, I could never find out where, but it was going to be 124. I don't think I'll make that. But it's just so wonderful, and to have the great families that live, all of them live in Huntington Beach, which is incredible. So I meet all these people, well, my daughter's in Maine, and on and on and on. And here I am, lucky enough to be in Huntington Beach all this time. So thank you. I can't thank you enough. I don't think I'll get the big head from it because it's a little late for that. But thank you for coming. Thank you for being my friend. I think the Rotary is a family. They have certainly been wonderful to me. And I got to meet all these wonderful people. It's unbelievable. But you should know that the Huntington Beach Rotary is a great one. We have had so many great people in Huntington Beach Rotary, and it's helped me so much all these years that I just can't thank you enough. Thank you for coming. I'm overwhelmed.
Thank you so much. Very good.
Thank you, Barbara. Bill, you've really left a legacy and an impression on all of us, and we're all, I know, speaking on behalf of everyone in this room, and each and every one of you have shared special memories with you, and we've definitely enjoyed all the time that we've gotten to spend with you, and excited for all the new memories that we get to create with you. So hopefully we'll get you to 130. But I know Rotary is really blessed to have you, because our club definitely would not be the same without you and everything you've done for us. So with that said, I'd like to pass the mic to Siska Stellhorn, who is the district governor of our Rotary District 5320.
Oh my goodness. Can you hear me? Yes. I learned that you're supposed to hold them like this. So maybe I'll do this. There, can you hear me now? So thank you for having me, and Bill, thank you for being 100 so that I could come to help celebrate you and that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been here. So thank you very much. when I think of 100, we have clubs that are 100 years old, and I have to go back and think of what all you have been through in the last 100 years. You missed one pandemic, I heard, but you've now survived another one. And with all of our, our driving is different, and all of our transportation, and the whole city of Huntington Beach has really changed. There's no longer any vegetables growing or strawberries growing, which there were, of course, way back then. And then Rotary. What's happened in Rotary that you have been a part of? Because you've been a part of, my counting is 73 years. That's a long time, right? So you have watched women coming into Rotary, and you have watched us join the United Nations, and you have watched clubs change, and your club, which is going to be 100 years old, how it has grown over the years. Were you an original member of this club, Bill? So, not quite. Almost. So I want to thank you for all that you've done, because I know you have contributed. You're really a role model, I know, to the younger members that are in this club, and all of you, and that you have contributed to all of the projects and to make this club a better club for the community. So I want to thank you for that. So I have another pin for you, and it says, "Hands that serve and hearts that share," that I want to give to you, because it's my inspirational, and you're still so inspirational to all of us. So can I pin you, please?
Oh, please. On my clothing,
But I heard the military, what they do is they stick it right into the skin. One of our military presidents. So, and I also have a little certificate for you from Rotary, and it's a certificate in recognition of you turning 100 and also having 73 years of service in Rotary. But I personally hope that you are still here in 30 years, and then I will come celebrate that moment as well. So thank you, and have a great rest of the day.
All right, and hopefully we'll have everyone back here in just a year, because our club will actually be turning 100 as well. So definitely we'll need Bill to help us celebrate your 101st birthday, and then also our club's 100th. And next I'd like to give the floor to Dick Diener. Dick?
Thank you, Andrew. And on my behalf, welcome everybody, Rotarians and special guests. It's a special day for sure for this man here, who's dear to my heart. Anyway, with the governor, mayor, and Sherry, where are you? Orange County Treasurer, I think we could start our own government. We have all the components to form our own government right now. That'd be all right, Barbara?
The Rotary Nation.
All right, really, the balance of the program, we're going to hear from a fine master, and after that, we'll also be having some testimonials, followed by a slideshow, and then sing happy birthday to this man.
Since you were the only one that was there, on your birthday, March 10, 1922, what were some of the major things that happened in the world that day? Besides you being born, of course.
I really don't know. I don't remember much about my birth.
Well, so there's three major things that happened. There's Mahatma Gandhi was arrested for sedition in India, and the South African government declared martial law because they were having a minor strike. And then the big one, which I'm surprised you don't remember, was that the state of Colorado received its first licensed radio station that day. So there's a 3 fines for you right there. So you're up to $15 already. So can you tell us how many people in the United States actually live to be 100?
No idea. I'm all really only concerned with my,
Well, that's there.
he's always asking questions about, and he does ask it on what day and all that, you know. And are you gonna ask anyone today who was born on?
Well, we got some other questions coming for the crowd. So right now we're picking on you. So actually in the U.S. it's 1.73 people per 10,000 of the population.
Wow.
So do you know the split between men and women on that, Bill?
No.
Well, it's 82% women. So if you're looking to start dating again, the odds are never in your favor. So all right, that's enough for Bill. I think he's out of money. So here's an easy question for the crowd here. Let's see. We'll pick on Brenda first. Easy one. Where was Bill born?
Bill was born in Huntington Beach, California.
Oh no, that's $5 to you. I'm sorry. Bill, could you answer that question for us?
Yes, it was, I barely remember. It was in Garden Grove.
Garden Grove. See you.
Hospital here.
There was no. So,
We've got a secret, but I haven't done very well.
you guys all read Bill's book, didn't you? This information's all out of his book, so you didn't know there was going to be a test. So, who is one of Bill's heroes, Mary Kinkella? And if you answer me, you get bonus points, but it's still wrong. Yes. Wow. No, that's $5 to you. Doug, do you know? Would it be Bill? Would it be John Wooden?
Oh, yeah.
John Wooden.
He looks like John.
And Bill, do you know what's your favorite quote from John Wooden?
Favorite what?
Quote.
Quote?
It's in your book.
Yeah, you're tough.
Success is,
Oh.
all this wipes out my memory.
No, it's all right. I'll help you out. Success is peace of mind that is a direct result of self-satisfaction in knowing you did your best. It's a good one. All right, so back to Bill's book. Let's see what I'm going to pick on next. Dick, you transcribed the book, so I'm not going to pick on you today. Eddie, what was Bill doing when the Long Beach earthquake hit in 1933?
1933. What was Bill doing? Bill was starving from famine.
Not actually, quite the opposite. Bill, what were you doing when that earthquake hit? It was like 5:50 p.m.
We were in my family was in the living room.
Yep.
My mother was cooking dinner.
What dinner was it?
It was my birthday
His
dinner.
birthday dinner.
We ran out of the house. My dad actually carried a wood-burning stove out. Normally took the grate out, anything movable, and then he did it by himself. And people tell me that the men got out first. Well, that wasn't very good on my part. It was probably quite an anniversary dinner. We, the three brothers all lived in Huntington Beach, within a mile of each other, and that was my dad and Emil and John. And John had a real nice workshop, and we all pitched a tent, and we lived in that tent for an 8 because of his, instead of using to sharpen tools or anything, it was our breakfast maker. And we lived there till, I think for about 3 days, and we moved back in.
Wow.
Yeah, quite a time. Actually, they called the Long Beach earthquake, but I think the center was more in Seal Beach, and maybe even toward us.
Yeah. All right, I got a couple more. So when Bill was in college, y'all remember from his book? Let's see. John Bailey. Okay, Mary, I'll pick on you. Bill was an extra in a movie. Who was the star of that movie?
Famous little guy.
Oh, Billy Barney?
No.
Barney?
$5.
That was his question.
What's that? No. Bill, who was the star of that movie?
Do I get any credit for my age?
Yes,
Can he phone?
you do. Was it Jimmy Stewart?
Yeah.
It was Jimmy Stewart. So. And that was the beginning and end of Bill's movie career.
$10.
All right, I got one more because I know we got to move on. So, Bill at one time was out playing golf at the Lawrence Welk Resort, and he actually met Lawrence Welk. And for those of you who are younger, Lawrence Welk was a famous band director, and had his own TV show. And
It was hot stuff.
I know. And so, Bill actually asked Lawrence Welk how his golf game was going. And who knows from the book, Andrew, what did Lawrence Welk tell him?
Happy birthday.
No, that was not it. That was not it. So, Gene, do you know?
Remember that?
You remember that one? Okay, Bill, go ahead and answer that one for us.
Well, he says, it's a 1 and a 2.
You know, I met Bill about 10 years ago when I joined Rotary, and he was 90 at the time, and I never doubted for a second that he wouldn't make it to 100, and I'm so glad that you're still here with us, and we're looking more for that 130th birthday.
So I'm going to pay his $15 fine.
Okay.
And I'm going to pay fine because I know who Lawrence Welk is.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pete. So now you know what a fine master does. I think we ought to thank Pete's Church for letting us use this room. A person noted for feats of courage or nobility of purpose. A person noted for special achievement in a particular field. A person admired for qualities or achievements and regarded as an idol or model. Someone who is greatly admired. Someone who fights for a cause, a role model. This is my role model. Bill Kettler is my. Those sentences were definitions of heroes, and Bill Kettler is my hero. So, as you know, Bill is an avid fisherman, a fly fisherman, and every summer in July, he and family members and friends fished on the Bighorn River in Montana. And, of course, Bill was always setting goals for himself, correct? So, evidently, there was a lady that was 97 years old who was the most senior fly fisherman on the river. Well, Bill surpassed her 2 years ago, in 98. So he met his goal. Now, I'm not sure what kind of award you got, Bill, at that time, but I've got a certificate here to give to you. It's a, if I can read it, it's a certificate of recognition presented to Bill Kettler in honor of the most senior fly fisherman on the Bighorn River. It says, thank you for your outstanding contribution to the sport of fly fishing. And it's signed by Dick Diener, fly fishing rookie. So a few years ago, I received a handwritten letter from Mr. Bill Kettler inviting me to go and join his family, fly fishing on the Bighorn. And I was thrilled to join him because it would be a great trip. And it was a great trip. I mean, I was a rookie. Of course, he's a master fly fisherman, you know, getting certificates and all that. So, but we stayed in a cabin in a small little town, and we had guides in our boats. And the food was good, the friendship was good, and I've got to say, Bill caught more fish than I did, but I had more catches than he did. I caught my foot twice, caught my hand once, and the worst one was, you know, fly fishing, you fly to the side. Well, I decided to stand up in the boat and fly like this, right here. I caught myself in the middle of my forehead, and all I can think of, God, they're going to take me to the hospital and have that extracted surgery. So fortunately, our guy got it out. But Bill, thank you for inviting me to go fly fishing with you. I've got more stories to tell about this gentleman, but I'd like to call on some other people to come up and say a few words. So Jeff, so
Where we stay. We stay in the Old Hookers Inn.
Did you just admit that publicly? So, Lieutenant Colonel Bill Kettler, there's so many people in this room that I feel so blessed to see today. It's been a long time. Incredibly special people. I don't know that I've ever met a more special man in my entire life than Lieutenant Colonel Bill Kettler. Dick talked about role models, and I just flat out steal some of his materials. So Bill Kettler taught me that speeches should be like a woman's dress, long enough to cover the subject, but short enough to keep it interesting. So I'm going to limit my comments and testimonial to Huntington Beach and what Bill has done here. The Kettler family is absolutely gorgeous. I've been friends with Howard for a number of years and feel blessed for that. But way beyond that, when Bill was very young, he was digging. I don't know why, but maybe for oil. He was digging and he found skeletons. And you know, most people would say, oh, that's disgusting. But not Bill. He takes them out and drags them home to his garage until he meets an Indian chief that helps give them a dignified burial. But this becomes really important later on when the Bolsa Chica wetlands are under plans for development. And no one was saying anything. A lot of people had suspicions about this ORA 83 and this 9,000-year-old civilization predating Christ by 7,000 years. Bill was able to come forward and say, oh no, there's Indian artifacts there and bones, and I know because I stole some of them for a while in my garage. So I think we have those wetlands and marshlands and all that important environmental area in large part due to Bill's courage and unique curiosity with bones and being a horizontal engineer and the other things. I think that's what's kind of driven him to say, you know what, I've been around dead bodies and bones long, I'm not going to die. And here we are at 100 years. So Rotary, when I joined, incredible people, but we always said, hey, we have a lot of fun and we do a lot of good, but we're not good at fundraising. And we changed that somewhere. Wendy, Brenda, Shannon, Scott, we changed that with Surfboards on Parade, I think over $250,000. And then we had this really cool Huntington Haunt event at the Newland House. And from being at the grocery stores, doing the food drives, Bill embodies a doer. He doesn't just talk, he's always there. So the first night of the Newland Haunted House, I bought like 20 tickets to bring a bunch of friends and family, and there was hundreds of people, and I'm like, gosh, I hope the police come by. And anyway, I see a bright security jacket and someone keeping everybody in line. Lieutenant Colonel William Kettler, 1,000 people in line. About 4 or 5 years ago, I went golfing with Bill. We went to a beautiful course in Palos Verdes, Trump National, and I brought another friend and mentor of mine, a 75-year-old and a 95-year-old, and I thought, I'm finally going to win a round. We had a fabulous time, gorgeous, but sure as the day is long in August, Bill Kettler beat us all. And I think he has like, how many holes in one?
Two.
Two.
But only one counts, because one of them was in an executive course, and those don't count.
They probably count in your book, or you should add that chapter. Thank you. When it comes to epitomizing what Rotary is about, service above self, Lieutenant Colonel William Kettler has delivered that on that in a way that is nothing less than perfection. Thank you for all of your service. Thank you for all of your love and support. Thank you for being my mentor. Thank you for being my friend, Bill. Happy birthday.
Well spoken, Jeff. Uh-oh. I stopped. Okay, let's have Julie come up. Where is Julie? Okay. Julie Frank.
Like those Celebration-Rotary.
I'll see if I can think of anything to say here. When I was 10, Bill joined Rotary. When I was 32, I became involved in Rotary, and all 80 men, all of them wore ties, and it was, it was quite the group. And then there's now, and somehow or other, there seems to be a lot more difference between 10 and joining Rotary and 32, and he was 50, and oh my gosh, I was just in awe of him. He was on every board you could imagine. He was the most important guy in Orange County, and here I was just, a little piano player with all these men, and gosh, he was so impressed. Well, now I'm 82 and he's 100, and it doesn't seem like we're that different. So math, it's a mathematical thing, I guess. I wanted to, before I sit down, I wanted to talk to the mayor. Quite a number of years ago, Bill's family gave land to the Huntington Beach as long as, and with the idea that they would name it Kettler Park. Well, the city took the land, and then they named it Irby Park after somebody that was on the city council. Now, Mayor, I think either you should name it Kettler Park or you should give it back, because Bill has been just sitting around and he doesn't have enough to do, and he could get the plow out and make a nice lima bean field, and we'd be back, Huntington Beach would be back being the lima bean capital of the world. So that, anyway, I wanted to be sure that you knew about that. Okay, congratulations, Bill. It's great.
As you can tell, Julie is our stand-up comedian. Thank you, Julie. You hit it. Okay, we'd like to have a couple words from a couple of Bill's grandson and granddaughter. So Brett and Lauren, you want to? Okay, you both can come up.
I forgot to say one thing. I came to his 100th birthday, and I'm expecting him to come.
And she plays the good piano, too. So Brett, did you want to go first? Okay. This is Brett, Bill's grandson.
Surreal moment. I'm really humbled to be here. My grandpa is afraid of this. Might need one. My grandpa's been my hero since I was old enough to talk. And from what I'm told, I was a pretty early talker, so it's been quite some time. And there's so many things that so many of you have touched on that really embody my grandpa's character. And you know what's so cool is his consistency. It's a buzzword that we hear quite often these days. And you know, when I look at my grandpa and I read a lot of different things, he's really lived a purpose-driven life. And I know there's a book titled that, but you've lived it. And you know, before we get into some of those stories, I'd like to share my childhood. And I really credit my grandfather and grandmother for who I am today. My grandparents had a place in Lake Arrowhead, and in the mornings we'd go on nature walks, and we'd pick berries, we'd look at birds, and my grandpa always had something insightful to say, and I always took it in. And you know, from that to the fishing up in Lake Arrowhead, to a fishing trip in Baja where my Uncle Howard was there, and it was a pretty interesting day, to say the least. We went fishing for marlin, and we hooked up to maybe 6. And we were on our way back, and I was 9 years old. I had gotten sick, and we got some bait from a boat that was done fishing, and there were 2 marlins that surfaced, and we hooked one, broke the line, we hooked another one, and it was game on. And I remember being like 15 minutes into it and saying, I want to cut this line. I'm done. And that was a moment that was super defining for me, because in my childhood bedroom, there's the bill of the marlin, and below it says, don't ever quit. And that's something that has shaped my life. That moment. You look at that, you look at, what other memories do we have? Oh, here's a good one. Here's a funny one. We used to carp fish in Lake Arrowhead too. And one day we were fishing. It was the end of the month. We got $1 per carp. So, you know, as a scrappy young kid, I liked collecting those bucks. And at the end of the month, the winner got, I think it was like $32. And on the I had the biggest carp going into the last day. My grandpa won. You know, he delivers a bigger fish on the last day. And I don't think it was intentional, but that's a word I'll get back to in a second. But I think my grandpa grabbed the money, stuffed it in the wallet, and we were like, I think my grandma ended up convincing him to split it with me, but that was a funny one. I could go on and on. And I didn't script it because I wanted this to come from the heart. You look at legacy, and I think a lot about legacy. I have a lot of friends that talk about legacy, and a lot of people inherently talk about legacy once they've made a bunch of money and they look to give it away. Not my grandfather. You know, you look at the school, the land, the lima bean farming land that was given to the Huntington Beach School District, or you look at the impact that you made on keeping the wetlands natural land, and I'm a commercial real estate guy, so you know it's a little counterintuitive. However, there's such importance for raw dirt and balance, and you embody balance. You embody someone that I think we all could learn from. And one thing that you always said is you want to make the campsite better than you found it, and that's something you certainly have done. I love you.
I can't take this. But I'm gonna cry. Never cry.
Okay, we'd like to hear from Lauren, who is Bill's granddaughter.
All right, gotta pull it up on my phone here. All right, Gramps, I am unbelievably grateful to have been lucky enough to have been a part of your life for so many years. Many of you know Bill Kettler for being a loyal Rotarian, for his legacy of being a docent at the wetlands and protecting it from being built upon. Or possibly you know about Kettler's school being named in his honor. Well, I know you do. But me, these are probably the things I know the least about my grandpa. When I think about you, Gramps, I think about the way that you loved Grandma. Just gonna be a minute. After 69 years of being together, you still treated her like a queen and just thought the world of her, not only for her beauty, but also her sweet demeanor, paired with her sarcasm. And man, was she a good cook. You took care of each other in different ways, and it truly was the greatest love anyone could witness and learn from. You never complained, and you aren't afraid of working hard. For goodness sake, my grandpa just retired a couple years ago. Some of my greatest memories together are very similar to my brother's, but they include nature walks in Lake Arrowhead, teaching me about every single bird and tree along the way as we walked to Jensen's to buy abba-zabbas and jujubes. There are you sitting by my side at the dinner table helping me with my dreaded math homework, reminding me at Don Jose's, don't fill up on the chips before dinner comes, of you teaching me about the shells as we walked along the shore in Kauai and singing and humming to Don Ho's Pearly Shells. Playing gin rummy as long as I wanted, as many games as I wanted, or catching stinky carp from our putt-putt boat. But my favorite memory of all is without a doubt when my Grandpa Bill married my husband and I, in front of all of the people we loved most. I've learned a lot from you, Gramps, but mostly to be grateful for life's little gifts, like papayas on the side of the road that you would jump out of the car to pick. No wonder it's my favorite fruit. As a father to my mom and my uncles, you couldn't be a better parenting role model for us. Always so gentle, kind, and generous. Your disappointment would hurt any of us way more than a raised voice or temper. But simply put, Grandpa, you're as inspirational at home as you are in the community, and you're truly the treasure of our family. Love you.
I think we could go on for a couple days with testimonials for this man here. Thank you all for saying something about Bill. We'd like to have a slideshow now.
Breathless happy arms will hold you, and someday I'll know that moment divine when all the things you are mine.
Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. For it's hard, you will find, to be narrow of mind if you're young at heart. You can go to extremes with impossible schemes. You can laugh when your dreams fall apart at the seams, and life becomes exciting with each passing day. And love is either in your heart or on its way. Don't you know that it's worth every treasure on earth to be young at heart? For as rich as you are, it's much better by far to be young at heart. And if you should survive to 105, look at all you derive just by being alive. Now here is the best part, you have a head start if you are a bunch of very young at heart. And if you should survive to 105, look at all you derive just by being alive. Now here is the best part, you have a head start if you are amongst the very young at heart.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear